So welcome. I am the Director of the School of Computing. I am here to welcome you and to tell you a little bit about your study plans and program here at the ANU. First of all, congratulations. Congratulations for coming to the Australian National University. Congratulations for choosing computing as your study area. This is the most dynamic, the most interesting, the most fun thing happening in the world today. And if you don't know that already, I'm sure you'll soon find out because you're going to learn that from your lecturers and in the courses that we teach. There's just one thing that we ask of you. Every one of you in this room will one day change the world. That's all we expect of you. What we're going to be giving you is the tools and skills and the ability to go out and make those changes in the world. We're Australia's National University. We have to treat our purpose and our mission as delivering on the national interests of Australia. In that respect, you will go out and change the world, whether it's here in Australia or overseas, wherever you end up going and working and living and making your lives. We have students from all around the world. Turn and look around the room and you'll see that we are a very mixed bunch of people. People of different languages, people of different countries, all coming together to study computing. Welcome to all of you, and I will move on to present some of the things that are in our program for you to understand a little bit about your studies, how to get started here, how to actually make the best of being at the ANU. First thing is to show up. Thank you for showing up this morning. And we will be expecting you to show up again as we go through your study programs. I'll start by doing something which is a feature of every public meeting at the Australian National University. That is to acknowledge the traditional owners of the lands on which we meet. ANU is built on the lands of the Ngambri and Ngunnawal peoples, the peoples that resided in this part of the country for time immemorial, effectively, over 60,000 years, more if you count. One of the things that we do in this college is acknowledge the fact that technology, the things that we do in this college and school, technologies have been the defining characteristic of human existence. And we acknowledge the fact that technologies in this part of the world stretch back into prehistory, 60,000, 100,000 years. So that's a very critical thing to remember, is that the ANU recognises our traditional owners of the lands. And we pay our respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging. We have a schedule today. I am Tony Hosking, Director of the school. I'll be giving you not just this welcome, but also an introduction to the school. Peter is unable to be here, he's unwell. We want to talk a little bit about computing and why it is such an all-encompassing subject. The thing about computing is that it pervades our lives. Every one of you carries a cell phone in your pocket, probably. Most of you will have a smartphone. This smartphone is more powerful than the first computer that I learned to program on. It is so much more powerful, it's many orders of magnitude more powerful than the first computer I learned to program on. The fact that you carry a computer in your pocket means that you are connected to the world, you're connected to information in ways that we have only just begun to tap. If you think about the sudden interest in large language models and AI, what are based on these foundational models for machine learning, those exist because of the availability of massive amounts of data. Data that we can use as the fuel to build engines that can deliver the remarkable things that you can see when you use something like ChatGPT. You are here to learn about those things and how those things will change the world, and you will be part of that. Obviously, computing is a subject that has its roots in mathematics and logic. We expect you to come to familiarise yourself with the notion that you can formalise computation. You can think of computation as a mathematical construct just as you do calculus and algebra. Computation is ultimately founded on mathematics and logic. But there's so many different things in there that you will be studying, not in just computing, but also in how you apply computing to the problems that are out there in the world. Whether it's problems of physics or social science, problems of the environment, bushfires, All of these things are important things that we apply computing to, and we develop new computing techniques to be able to solve those hard problems, those wicked problems that exist for humanity. Okay. Here we are. That's the front of the building. I'm the professor in the foundations part of the program at the ANU in computing, but I'm also the director of the school, and I'm very pleased to see you all here. The other thing you need to come to terms with is who do you speak to get solutions to your problems or to answers to your questions? And there are a whole range of different faces and people who you will be able to talk to understand aspects of your program, how to navigate your way through it, how to be successful in it, and also to pick you up sometimes when you stumble. We're here to help. We have course conveners. At the ANU, a course is a single subject of study. It's one of the, typically in a full student load of 4 courses that you take every semester. Okay, so a course convener, and don't worry about the spelling because there's lots of arguments at the ANU as to how you spell convener. Is it with an E or with an O? The official spelling is with an E, I'm told. But I'm not sure I agree. Okay, so course conveners. Course conveners are the people that are teaching you in the lecture halls or in the labs or in the tutorials. The course conveners are the people who lead the delivery of a given course in our program. They can tell you everything about that specific course. But they may not be able to tell you everything about your study program, about all the other courses that you might need to take. But they will be able to tell you which resources you can draw upon, what books you might find in the library, what software you will need to work on the problems in the course. They'll tell you about your assignments, your assessments, when those are due, how well you've done. They'll be giving you back feedback, and they'll also be keeping you up to speed with acquiring and learning the subject matter of their courses. We also have a wonderful CECC Student Services team. Nat over here leads that team. They are your first contact point for program problems or inquiries. So programs now are your entire study degree. If you're going for the Bachelor of Computing, that's a program. They are here to help you with questions about how you navigate your program, what courses you can and cannot fit into that program. They're also here to give you permission if you need permissions for your courses in your program. They can show you study plans, program plans, what the timelines are for your study plans at the ANU, and all the administrative bits and pieces that attach to your being able to succeed and successfully proceed through your study program here at the ANU. We also have another set of conveners. So conveners is a multi-use word. It's not just your course convener. There's also the program conveners. And the program conveners that are here, sitting here in front of you today, we'll be introducing them in a little bit because they're going to have some breakout sessions later on with respect to the different programs, and they'll be able to answer questions that you have that attach to the particular nitty-gritty bits of your program and how it fits together, noting that your first point of contact is still going to be student services. What they do is they deal with the problems that the student services team cannot solve immediately themselves. So if there are questions that need some academic input from someone who understands not just the process, but also the content of your degree programs. So if there are exceptional problems that the student services team cannot solve, they will refer those problems to the program conveners. Things like choosing electives, or what course might be substituted for another course because the one you wanted to study is not being offered. Those sorts of questions. And finally, the university has a very robust Wellbeing team. A team that is here to support students in their studies, to help them when they face issues of their personal lives that may be interfering with their study. There are opportunities to get counselling and to ensure your well-being so that you can make the most of being here at the ANU. And I strongly encourage you to take advantage of those services that are provided here at the university to help every student succeed. Here are the programs in our school and college that are of immediate interest to us in the School of Computing. There is another program that actually spans 2 schools, which is the Bachelor of Engineering in Software Engineering, which is actually a program that blends both computer science and engineering topics into a single program. But the programs that we are talking about here today, and for which you have the conveners here to ask questions from, the list here, ranging from our Bachelor of Computing, Bachelor of Advanced Computing R&D, Master of Computing Advanced, Graduate Diploma in Computing.
Yep.
Okay. Master of Machine Learning and Computer Vision, Bachelor of Applied Data Analytics, Master of Applied Data Analytics, Honours in Applied Data Analytics, Honours in Computing, and this really should say Honours in Computing just generally. And the obvious places for you to find out about every one of those programs and the program that you happen to be in is to be looking at the Programs and Courses website. It's supposed to be the source of all truth. That's not to say there aren't mistakes there, but what's on Programs and Courses is intended to be the defined aspects of your study programs at the ANU. You should be looking at those to understand things like what courses do I take in my first year, what's the study plan look like. All of that information sits there on that website. We also have a website for our current students that is supported by the Student Services team and that captures information that you might not be able to find on Programs and Courses. Something like, this course is not being offered, how do I take this other course? And there'll be information about how to substitute a course, for example, in your program. We also have the Health and Safety and Wellbeing team that is ANU centrally run. So, here are the sorts of things that you might see on Programs and Courses. Here's an example of the BCom. It gives you important things to keep in mind when choosing your 1,000-level courses. There's a whole list of steps that you can take to ensure that you are on track, that you're in the right courses, that you're on track, that you're getting past your first year. And then there are these study options tables that show you what courses you should be thinking about in year 1 and what courses you should be thinking about in year 2. And there's one of those for just about every single program that is on Programs and Courses. So look at that information, make sure that you're fitting into the constraints of your program, and that will ensure that you're well placed to succeed and make progress towards the later years of your studies. So, what does it mean to be studying at the ANU? Well, we're a university. Students have a high degree of responsibility for their own progress and their own understanding and learning. So independent learning is a critical piece of what we do here. That's not to say we're not going to help you to learn, but it requires a positive action from you to be learning. We're not just going to sit here and spoon feed you. We are also upholding a very high standards of respect and respectful relationships at the ANU. We insist that every person who is here on campus be treated with respect and that respect be mutual. Just looking at the room, we're obviously a multicultural environment. So every one of us has to recognize that the background that we come from is not necessarily the background of the person that we're speaking to, and that requires a degree of sensitivity with respect to understanding where other people are coming from. It's not all about us, it's about the whole group and understanding where people come from. The other thing the ANU upholds is a very high standard of academic integrity. And there are some fairly clear outlines of what academic integrity means. And these outlines are provided in various websites, including the ANU Student Code of Conduct. That's something that every one of you on campus has effectively signed up to. You're signed up to adhering to the Code of Conduct. And I very much encourage you all to look at the Code of Conduct as you begin your studies here. That Code of Conduct is designed to support students in their study, to support students in maintaining the integrity of what they learn and what their peers learn and what the whole program is about. There are a number of study modules that every student is expected to go through, which is the Rights, Relationships and Respect program, and the Academic Integrity module. And this will give you an opportunity to check your understanding against the explicit rules and regulations of the university. There's some other modules that I also encourage you to look at. How to stay healthy, how to be well, how to live well, how to enjoy your time here. This is going to be the most formative time of your lives. The person you are now will not be the person that comes out the other end of this program of study that you have at the ANU. There's also the module that is targeted at students who are coming to Australia from an international location, who are interested or need to, of course, we all need to adapt to the environments in which we are working and living and playing in order to be successful. So there's another program it's intended for international students to acclimatise themselves to the Australian context. The way things work in the Australian university system is not the same way as it works in other university systems around the world. Understanding how our university functions and how you fit into that function will enable you to make the most of your studies here. Thank you for choosing us. Thank you for coming and trusting yourselves with us to be able to learn and do the things that are going to lead you to go out there and change the world. That's what we want from you. Over to Nat.
Thank you. Can everyone hear me okay? Yeah. Excellent. Hi everyone, my name is Natalie Seagart. I'm the Manager of Student Services and Employability in the college. As Tony mentioned, I'm here today to talk to you about what student services do, but also about the support services that are available to you as ANU students across the university more broadly. So there are plenty of people in our college who can assist you if you need help, but student services, as Tony mentioned, is your first port of call if you need any assistance or advice or support when it comes to your program or your courses in the college. My team look after a really broad range of administrative functions that relate to your program and your course, and so if there's any sort of questions or concerns that you've got, please come and see us. We do expect that you are engaging with your program rules as on programs and courses, and that you make the effort to understand what your obligations are as an ANU student. But we also understand that things can be difficult to understand at times, and there are lots of rules. So if you're ever in doubt or you ever need clarification, please come and see us and make sure you get that clarification that you need. Please keep in mind though, we are quite a small team. There's only 10 of us, including our employability team. And with over 3,500 students, at peak times things can get sort of quite busy. So we always say, if you've got an urgent inquiry, please come and see us in person. We're open Monday to Friday, 10 till 4, over in the CSIT building. Please just come and see us in the first instance. We do also respond to emails, but at these busy times with so many students, the delays can be a little bit longer than we'd ideally like. So come and see us. Okay, the student employability team are your experts on work integrated learning opportunities as they apply to your current programs. So the team works closely with the conveners of work experience, internships and capstone courses within your degrees to make sure that they all sort of fit within your programs, and they undertake all of the administrative functions that underpin those opportunities as well. So I encourage you to check out the college website. The team have done a fantastic job of collating really detailed information for you to understand what the various work integrated learning opportunities are for you. And they also populate Career Hub with different opportunities as well. So if you haven't done so already during O Week, I really encourage you to sign yourself up for ANU Career Hub and fill out your profile so you can make sure that you're not missing out on any opportunities that are published through that. Just before I move on as well, the team have advised me that they are going to be reaching out to everyone very shortly, because they are hosting a computing induction information session on Tuesday the 12th of March. So they will be in touch. Please keep an eye on your emails. So you can make sure that you register for that if you're interested in internships or work experience opportunities, or even what your capstone project means. Alrighty. As Tony sort of alluded to, at some stage sort of throughout your academic journey, you may be impacted by sort of personal, mental health or academic challenges. Regardless of whether or not this is a known issue for you, or if it's the first time something like this has happened, it can be really scary and really, really daunting for you to manage. And so we do say that it is really important for you to reach out to us as soon as you possibly can, so we can help put things in place for you to get back on track. A quick Google search is usually all that you'll need to find the right people to talk to. But the beautiful thing about ANU is that if you're not entirely sure who to contact, if you reach out to any of the services, if they're not quite the right people, they will definitely help to put you in touch with the people that you need to speak to get the help that you need quickly. I also just wanted to point out that despite our readiness to assist you, we often require you to be proactive in seeking those services. As I said, we've got heaps of things that we can do to put in place to support you to get back on track, but it's a lot easier for us to help you sort of right at the start of the problem than if it sort of got really quite out of control. So sort of try to keep that in mind and apply that to how you manage yourself over the course of your degree. The ANU has dozens of support services that are available and that provide you with confidential and non-judgmental support, but I just wanted to draw your attention specifically to the ANU accessibility team. That team works with eligible students and with the college to come up with an educational access plan, an EAP, and that can help to implement agreed adjustments for you if you're a student who has sort of known personal challenges that would be assisted by some sort of intervention. So if that's resonating with you at all, I really encourage you to get on top of that as soon as possible. That really helps your course conveners and your program conveners and student services as well to make sure that you're getting the support you need up front. Okay, and just the ANU app that we were up before. So just really quickly, that is an official safety and wellbeing app that the university has developed and has a whole range of features that are super useful for our students. One of the features that I think is arguably one of the best is the work alone feature, where you can register if you're going to be on campus by yourself late at night and you just want security to know where you are, and they can sort of pop in and just do a welfare check for you. It's a really valuable tool, but there's lots of different features in that app as well. Okay, so just finally, as I mentioned before, wherever possible, best to come and speak to us in person. It does get sort of quite busy, but you'll more than likely get a direct answer on the spot if you come and see us in person rather than sending us an email. The website link is up there, so please take a photo of it if you need to, or you can find it just from the main college page. It has heaps of college-specific information about the processes for permission codes and applying for reduced study load and your program plans and all of that sort of thing. So things that you will need to know as a CECC student are on that page. I've given you lots and lots of information today in a few short minutes, and I'm sure your head is spinning, but if I can just sort of reiterate any one factor, it's please come and see us before a problem gets out of hand. Even if you think it's really small, or you think, oh, I don't want to bother somebody about it, come and talk to us and we can sort of get a plan in place to address it before it turns into something that's perhaps a little bit more serious. Thanks so much. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we really look forward to seeing you around campus.
So the ANU library team is here to provide a lot of resources for you as well, and they're going to come and speak. I think this mic is working.
Good morning everyone, and welcome to ANU. My name is Mel and this is Kathy, and we're here to let you know how the library can help support you. So ANU is one library with 4 branches. Each branch has bookable study rooms bookable study rooms, Macs and PCs. We also have short-term laptop loans for 7 days if you ever have a problem with your laptop. And you can use any of the facilities and any of the resources in any of the branches. During O Week, we're running library tours at 11, 12, 1 and 2. You don't need to book, just come down and see us. And I already recognise some faces in the crowd who've come down. So if you come to the library for a tour, we can go through a session and show you how to access online resources and just the main things you might need with using the library. So Kathy and I are from Hancock Library. Hancock is the science library, and this is where you'll find resources on computer science and subject specialist librarians like us. You can book a research consultation with us for either face-to-face or online, and we can help you if you need to find resources for your work, for your assignments. So Hancock Library is accessible 24/7. The library is staffed Monday to Friday 9 to 5, but outside of those hours, you just use your student card and that will give you swipe card access. So you can access a huge range of resources, books, journals, databases. Most of our collection is online, so that means you can access it both on campus and off campus. To access off campus, you may need to use the ANU reverse proxy. It's very simple, just Google ANU ITS working remotely or ANU ITS reverse proxy, or if you have any trouble, just contact us and we can help talk you through it. The library catalogue and super search are your access points to finding resources. So you would use the library catalogue if you were just searching for a textbook, whether it was print or online, and you would use super search, also known as everything, if you were wanting to dig deeper. Say if you were starting on an assignment, you wanted to get an overview of what was available, and this will also retrieve reference articles, journal articles. It'll dig into databases for you. In the top right-hand corner, don't forget to sign in when you're searching, and this will give you access to other features. So you'll be able to save your searches, and also you'll be able to request items if ANU Library doesn't hold them. So your single sign-on is your authentication, and that will give you access to all the resources that the library subscribes to. So subject guides are a great place to get started. When you're starting to work on an assignment, they're resources, the key resources in your area which have been collated, so journals, books, databases, websites. So you just go to the library website, scroll to the bottom, and then you'll see library information. Select subject guides and then the area that you're in, and then you can look at the resources through there. You'll also, have access to computer science resources, e-resources and databases through the library website. And if you know what you're looking for, you can search A to Z by title, or you can also search by subject if you're not sure what database you're looking for. So undergrads can borrow 100 items for 4 weeks, and postgrads can borrow 100 items for 26 weeks. The library has a self-check machine, so you can borrow books at any time of the day or night, whichever suits you, and you can return the items to any branch, whichever's easiest for you. And also, just a reminder, if the resources you need are not available through the library, there are ways to access them. So each of the libraries has bookable study spaces. You can book them online. And you can use the study spaces at any of the libraries. It doesn't just have to be Hancock. If you walk past a study room and you haven't made a booking and it's empty, just feel free to use it. Oftentimes people will book and then find another space. And if someone has a booking, they'll just let you know. The library is also divided into designated sound zones, so you can find the best space for you to work. So you would go to the red zone if you preferred to work in a silent area. So that's no conversation and no audible sound, even from AirPods. Green zones are for social conversations and working in groups with your peers. And then the yellow zones are sort of in between quiet conversations only. So you have access to a huge range of support My colleague earlier mentioned academic skills, and so you can book an appointment with academic skills and a digital literacy team, and that's face-to-face or online, individual or also classes, and they can give you support in things like referencing for the area you're studying in, report writing, researching, editing, and working with programs like EndNote when you start to do that as well. And also, of course, you can book the appointment with Kathy or I to get help when you're wanting to find resources. So you can contact us through the live chat, which is Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. You can come in face-to-face, email, phone. There's an Ask the Librarian form you can fill out. But I also want to say the key takeaway from the library today is when you do need help, just reach out and ask us, because that's what we're here for. We're here to support you in your journey at ANU. Thank you.
Okay, so now we're going to introduce the conveners of the various programs who will be taking you into some other parts of this building and talking a little bit more in detail about the programs that you're studying. I'd like each of the conveners just to stand up so you recognise them, and then also recognise them when they leave to head off to the appropriate room so that you can hear a little bit more about your study programs. So for the Bachelor of Computing and Honours Computing is Felipe Trevisan. For the Bachelor of Advanced Computing and Bachelor of Advanced Computing R&D, it's Michael Norrish, who is not here yet. He had another thing he had to go to, but he's going to be here soon. I will cover for Michael until he arrives. So I will be the person in Birch 202. For the ADAN suite, the suite of courses around applied data analytics, the Baden, Harden, Marden, Carden, Darden, GCDE. Kerry Taylor is at the back of the room there. So there's Kerry. You'll find her in Birch 109. The Master of Advanced Computing, Dylan, is here, Dylan Campbell. He will be available to you in Birch 1.36. For the Master of Computing and Graduate Diploma of Computing, Min and Liang will both be available in this room, so stay here if you want to hear about that program, those programs. And for the Master of Machine Learning and Computer Vision, Miao Miao Liu will be in Birch 1.35. So we're going to actually break shortly to do that, and there'll be opportunity for afterwards for you to mingle together with the conveners and so on at the morning tea that we've provided outside here. But I do want to know if there are any questions that you want to be asked in this room now before you break out to those program-specific discussions. Are there any questions? I'm going to hand you a microphone, so don't be shy, but it's so that everyone can hear your question and answer. I'll pass that to you.
Where would I have to go if I did software engineering?
Aha! So the Bachelor of Engineering and Software Engineering, which I mentioned earlier is a program that is co-taught between us and the School of Engineering. There is a session on that this afternoon.
Yes, back here starting at 1:30.
Starting at 1:30 here in the same space. Is that a hand up at the back there?
No, that was the thumbs up from Erin. Yeah. And yet the program convener will be here this afternoon. He couldn't attend both sessions today.
Now, the reason for that is because the Bachelor of Engineering and Software Engineering is built around the engineering core, and the induction there is very much about bringing all the students who are studying engineering together in their understanding of the commonalities that they have in their programs, but noting that a big part of the software engineering program is made up of courses in computing, and all of your students in this room will be mixing with students in that program as well. Any other questions?
To that note, I don't know if it's much too specific, but there are some courses that have exactly the same number for engineering and computer science, for example, computer vision. I don't know if there's real differences between them, or it's just that it can apply to programs of engineering and computer science.
So that's a result of some of that crossover between programs. If you're in one of the computing programs, you should be taking the computing coded course, unless it's explicitly stated in your study program guide. Okay. Any other questions? All right, well, I hope you have more questions for the conveners, because otherwise it's going to be a very quiet discussion in those other rooms. But I encourage you to stay behind, to ask those questions in each of these rooms. We'll let the various conveners make their way to their appropriate room, and if you recognise them, you can follow them.
Matthew, imagine